Professor Wergles here. We are on lecture number 30. We are in the data retrieval number 4 example. We're going to go back to index.html, and I'm going to show you how to make a custom message. You'll see here I'm creating a new instance of application, which is passing the name and the age. And then I'm calling the start method, which creates a new advertisement, and then passes the function to be called once the GET request is successful. But you'll see advertisement is hard-coded here as a parameter. So what I can do is that I can have the user dynamic and the message dynamic. So I'm going to cut this message, and for the start method, I'm actually going to pass in a parameter called message. Okay, so every time I create an advertisement, it's going to have a different message for each user. So the first user will have, "You just won $1 million." The second user may have a different message, which says, "You just won a trip to Hawaii." Okay, so I'm going to dynamically change the message as well as dynamically change the user and the age. If I save this, upload the code to the server, then refresh the page, you'll see Professor Wergles, "You just won $1 million." Click on OK. It says, "Sam, you just won a trip to Hawaii." Okay, so I can create different users that have different advertisements, and you'll see now that I'm making objects and I'm programming this data retrieval, this advertisement example in such a way where I have objects that call different methods that have different parameters set. You see it's very easily to now create different users who have different advertisements without changing any of the code. I just put the message in as a parameter, I put the user in as a parameter, and now everything is dynamic. So when doing your final project, try to think in this way. Try to make your program dynamic by not hard coding anything. You'll see in the previous example, the message was hard coded, but in this example, it's actually a parameter, and I can display different messages depending on what I send to the start method. You should be thinking this way as well. Instead of writing the code several times, you put it in a function. Instead of hard coding the data, you put it as a variable and you display the data dynamically. If you program in this way, your final project will be a solid application. It will be developed correctly, and therefore you will get a good grade on your final project. But you need to be thinking this way for this class and for future classes. Make sure you program dynamically. Don't hard code anything. Try to have your code write code for you. Try to work smarter, not harder. If you think this way while you're programming, your program should be good, making your application very strong, which will help you get that internship or get that job that you're looking for. Because when you go into the industry, you need to be thinking this way. When you create a post on Facebook, there's not a developer who quickly hard codes that post. There's a template. It has a data retrieval. It shows your post and shows an advertisement there on the side. And that's all being done automatically. If you upload a video to YouTube, there's not a programmer who quickly hard codes that video. You upload the video, it gets stored on the file system. The link gets stored in the database. Whenever you click on the video, it does a GET request. It queries the database, finds the corresponding link, and then dynamically changes the source attribute in the video tag, just like we saw in the previous example. If you think this way, your program will be solid, your application will be solid, and your grade will be solid. We have more examples. We're going to be talking about closures, which is concepts that are on the final exam. So stick with Professor Wergles, and we'll see you in the next video.